Mike, would you like to explain to the multitude that are listening why we're celebrating your anniversary, first anniversary?
Well, it's been over a year since I last ingested any solid food, and it's been quite a nice journey. It's not been without its challenges or its lower moments, but it's been worthwhile. So it's something I wanted to discover about how well can we become without the poisons that we place themselves in front of ourselves and daily ingest and suffer, to be truthful, and based on the science, how shall we say, the satanic science of those that we've absorbed over the years, they would state that you should be dead after 3 weeks or 3 months. They always seem to have a kind of a time scale with when you should expire. So obviously now, after a year, with no solid food, just distilled waters, fruit juices, that's what I've existed on, and I'm happy and I'm well and cleansed inside, which is different than I've ever experienced.
You feel that strongly, do you?
Yeah. It's you have a different level of energy, and you enjoy it.
Do you feel that it's changed your perspective?
I think it changes everything, because from the inside you it's kind of like when you look at, from history, they go, oh, you had the Puritans. Well, I don't think they knew what they were doing anyway, but I mean, if you want to be a pure creature, it's like, well, there's a way of being that way, because your cells do not break down, and the only reason why they do break down is that they're poisoned, and when we stop poisoning, so then we can regenerate, we can become what we were meant to be, which we were at one point, when we were inside our mums. We were in this beautiful distilled bubble, living on distilled liquids and having a great time, and suddenly then we popped out of mum, born into this world, and then we started eating shit. And sadly we spend the rest of our lives doing that, and then fall into the programmed cycle of age decrepidation and pensionism, which I think
they've almost got worked out to a T now, haven't they? Really?
Is that a new word?
This is it. It's kind of like stepping away and doing something really different from all the programming that goes on, because we get so
kind of organised death.
And you step away from the programming of you're due to die at this specific moment from this specific condition, and you go, can we do something different here?
Yeah.
Do we have to do it by what they say? Do we have to listen to these people anymore? And
fair play to you, Mike.
And it's cast off the shackles and the irons, which are very mentally based, and that's probably, like I say, when I first started it, I'd still pop my head into the fridge and go, oh, look in there's food. Oh well, good night food, and shut the fridge door, and then and move on to the next day, and like I say, that feeling most of us get where we think we're hungry, and it's that kind of like acidy thing that perhaps going on. What most people didn't realise is that that's the food you've had from the night before or the day before, and that's creating that, because that's becoming rather toxic in the gut. So I'd suggest to anyone that suddenly, just as an experiment, it's just, if you get really hungry or you think you're hungry, just go have a pint glass of distilled water and see what happens to. So and it won't be there.
I can vouch for that one, for sure.
It's you are designed, and I feel that, I believe that this is true, and you are designed to last forever. But so is there what's the time scale on forever? I don't really know. But whether I will, as a result of what I'm doing, at this point I'm not really that interested in that. What I'm really interested in experiencing is how well can you be, and how well can you sustain that wellness, based on everything that happens around us as well, because we've got obviously a lot of other dangerous environments that we can walk in and out of, lots of Wi-Fi and radioactive stuff, and it's not that we should be defeated in terms of how that affects us mentally, because in the past I think it has done. We can go, oh no, there's too much of this, there's too much of that, and you suddenly think, what can we do to protect ourselves without actually having to resort to go into your cupboard and open up which vitamins should I be taking today, or it's how simple can this be to make ourselves well. And like I say, we discovered that it is so simple that most of us probably wouldn't want to do it because we like being addicted. I think truly love being addicted, and I've been there. You know me. I used to get up and I used to have to smoke a great deal. I wouldn't function without that. So it's been 2.5 years or more since I've smoked
anything at all.
Anything at all.
Yeah.
So would I step back? I've got no interest in that. This is why the inner cleanliness that occurs that changes the very
Do you feel
the
that
fabric of thoughts towards those substances.
nobody's gone with you, sort of thing, and you think that's a bit disappointing?
It's kind of like it's a journey that I chose. I mean, it's not I can't impose upon anyone really. It's just I can only say, hey, look, just have a go at doing something. Just try a few days actually without any solid food, and just sort of see the difference. Just see the difference how you function. I mean, some people might initially, depending on how well or unwell they are, they might detox for a few days, but I definitely guarantee that they'll experience a whole different level of energy and wellness that they've not had before. But they would be able to make that observation, because the moment they started eating the processed foods again, they'll have an autoimmune.
Encourage people to drink.
Oh, indeed, water's the God is in the rain.
You had a few problems with autotoxicity, didn't you?
Yeah, this is again, this is what happens when we're shown those graphic, horrific pictures of young boys, African boys and girls, and they're all
Swollen
being
stomachs.
told that they're all dying of starvation, and it's kind of obviously we're not being told what they were being fed before. They don't have any clean water. They don't have the water knowledge. And that autoimmune response ends their life, and that response will be medically described as anaphylactic shock, which brings about vital organ failure. And now, so we'll see some of them that have got extremely big pot bellies, or you see some that look incredibly emaciated.
Well,
So
as you can see by the photographs that we're actually displaying now, basically what we're looking at is what would seem to be a dehydrated body.
Yeah, indeed, and a poisoned body at that, and it's a body that wants to expel these poisons that are trapped within, and if they were given just pure water and no food, they would not die, and that's just an absolute fact, because obviously we are water, most of us are, and
I'm sure a
you know,
good pint, 2
what-
pints of water a day.
it's like I say, it's kind of like, would you want to put dirty engine oil in an engine? So if you're looking at it from the kind of a mechanical perspective, do you want to drink dirty water? And the answer should always be no. And the cleaner the water is, I mean, again, I always look and say, well, what's the cleaning fluid inside a kidney dialysis machine? I ask these people, do you know what they use to clean the blood with? Well, most people are kind of like scratching their head on this one, but the kidney dialysis machine, the cleaning component is distilled water. So,
Absolutely.
So when you start introducing distilled water into people's lives, then slowly. I only encourage people to do it slowly now, just to build it up, because obviously, again, you have to know about the auto intoxication, which is the body expelling the poisons, and believe you me, the body.
People can feel quite ill.
The body.
It will.
It does have expelling.
The body certainly lets you know, and one might add that you do some of the most smelliest stools on the planet. So watch out, people.
I can vouch for that one. Cheers, mate.
I think we walked in there around this table.
It's a good job we're not eating, isn't it? But
we could put a picture of a dessert on the table.
But it's kind of like, well, yeah, you can clear all these poisons out of your body and have a different, more spiritual kind of existence than you've not had for such a long time. So it's returning the the soul of who you are to a state where you'll benefit most.
The reason that I mentioned the auto-intoxication was that I think that an awful lot of people are put off from continuing with what if they embark on a program of using distilled waters to cleanse themselves, which I can only recommend to anybody who wants to try it. But if you do embark on that, you have to expect that as all the toxins that have been sitting in your body for all these years start to move and be expelled, they do have to travel through your body. So you are going to suffer intoxication from these things as they pass through your system to leave. And that can happen in quite huge amounts at a time, because you're sort of reaching a threshold for each individual toxin that you are getting rid of out of your body. You know, you get rid of one at one point, then you get rid of another one at another point, and the reaction of your body can be quite extreme, and it's something that people have to be really quite aware of. Otherwise, you're going to think that you're making yourself ill. But you're not making yourself ill, you're cleaning your system.
That's absolutely correct, Nick, and it's really so important that you've emphasised that people do have to know the difference between real unwellness and detoxicity, and with detoxicity, depending on how poisoned the body are, the first programmed analysis of what's wrong with you is that you're suddenly making yourself ill. And this is what people do. They say, well, I had to stop because I was really ill. Well, that's okay. I mean, if people really feel they need to stop, then they should.
I think it's because the distilled water stripped all the minerals from my body.
Well, again,
He says, throwing the carrot in.
We need to quote that. We need to quote our science satanic masters who've given us such truthful.
Absolutely. Would you like to explain that comment?
Well, really looking at everything that's happened from these institutions, we never get a true science in the which is based on natural observations of interactions, and we're not seeing all the effects. They will tell us about the effects that they want us to know about because it's good for business.
Well, anything else is a side effect, isn't it?
Well,
so it's not an effect.
So I only they're only ever effects. So you want to, people need to get rid of the term cause, because there are no causes, there are only effects. And so when you change an effect that's been bad on you, then that effect on you then becomes good. So the more bad effects you remove, the more good effects that come back. So that's how the cleansing of the body, and that again, cleansing the soul of every man and creature out there. It's all animals out there in nature. They generally gonna be living off rainwater or stream water, which is it's part and start of its journey was always distilled. People worry about the chemtrails. Well, this planet, the reason why it rains so much, especially on this island at the moment, is obviously when they have been spraying. Nature is designed to clean up things, so we get extra rain because of what they're doing, and that at the end of the 3 or 4 days rainfall, that water's gone back to a very pure state, and it's got obviously nothing to do with, well, it's got everything to do with the effects that have been manufactured by those that do not wish us to live happy and healthy. So, but nature, brilliant creation, and continues to be so, and she's on our side.
The point that I was actually asking you to explain, I'll explain myself. What I was talking about was the fact that the age-old excuse for not drinking distilled water is that it strips the minerals from your body.
Yeah,
Well, yes, it does.
Sorry. Yeah, it does actually strip all the bad minerals, which are all positively charged, as we know.
Crystalline.
The important thing is when people do, if they do embark on cleansing the body, which I always recommend for anyone, is is you have a certain set amount of organic minerals stored in the body. Now what occurs when you go through the cleansing is that those minerals become depleted, and it's largely because the organic minerals play the role of binding with the positively charged ones, so they're going to help
Hold them in.
strip out the real nasties. That's why we get some pungent smells departing from our body. I mean, when I stopped smoking, I happened to be kind of trying to do physical things at that point in time, and every time I came in from outside, having been doing, say, some gardening or whatever, my fair and good lady would turn around and she basically said that she'd never actually smelt me the way that I smelt, and it was disgusting. So, the poisons can, even to this point now, where
Still
Well, they're going to exit whichever way they can, aren't they?
they certainly are, and your body, I don't, like I said, I don't see people fat. I see them poisoned. Fat is really the word that those who feel it's good for business to have you all on a diet. So you're asking for it. Go and diet yet.
Yes.
So are you dieted yet? So it's kind of it's these people. It's just all business with them.
Well, that's
so
the thing about the food. I mean, people used to sort of grow their own food and cook it, and now they go down to the supermarket and buy processed. And
yeah.
and
I think
it's gone from family, local, to worldwide.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's that beautiful observation you can make about, you look out there in nature, and can you see anybody? Can you see that horse wanting to queue up at McDonald's? No, it's gonna chew virtually nutritionless grass and drink rainwater and stream water.
It makes you wonder where rhinoceroses get all their protein
it's still
from.
this big beautiful horse in the field. And
That's right.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really say much for the nutritionalists in this world, does it? That that horse needed.
Let them eat grass.
I mean, it's like, does a cow need protein? Does a cow need a beef burger? Well, no, it definitely eats a lot of grass, blows out a lot of methane, drinks a lot of water, but other than that, it doesn't need burgers. But apparently, according to nutritionists, we might need burgers. I don't know. I'm kind of like at a loss with nutritionists now.
Even if we did need a burger, I don't think I'd be queuing at McDonald's for it.
No. But I mean, those
I think
photographs
that's
look really
unfair.
great, man.
I think it's a little unfair. I think you should include Burger King, Wendy's, and all those
Wendy's, yeah.
people.
I didn't see the need to expand really, because the likelihood of it ever happening is nil.
So again, it's just going back to that. Do your cells need food, and your body cells do not need food. However, that's something that people can find out, and I advise people to look deeply into some of the most ancient research there is, some of the proper science that's always existed. So.
Well, there's always the Bruce Lipton, yes.
Yeah.
Bruce Lipton, talking about the fact that flying in the face of modern science, as we love it to be, that the cells are regulated by their environment. So if you've got a nice clean environment around your cells, then they're going to be healthy. However, if you've got all kinds of toxic rubbish floating around in your system, then they are going to, the cells are going to react to that in a different way to the way that they would normally react in a friendly environment. They will be on their guard. They will behave differently. What's that?
Fat. We're back to fat. We're back to poison. The body becomes degenerated, resulting from the consumption of these poisons. So, yeah, but they call it fat, and it's like I say, it's such a negative, nasty word. It just makes you want to go and make that Scooby-Doo snack and bulge out again.
Regardless.
Because
I don't care anybody calls me fat.
You've got to find comfort in their psychological insults upon people. So
Rather than meditating.
well, rather than what's the word, Tim? Abstaining from poisoning yourself. I mean,
Yes.
it's kind of like sometimes someone turns around and say, well, isn't what you're doing a bit extreme? And you go, well, isn't even poisoned food extreme? You know, it's kind of like those questions. You can stand there like you're a mirror.
Say in a year or two, my hasn't he grown up to my shoulder when I'm down on my bended knee. It makes a mockery